got this thing back home and on the bench after the first run, and gonna go over a few things that I learned. For one, which of course I just said in the video, I didn't show, but I definitely was flipping through the 3 different modes on the RC, trying to get it into wheelie mode so that it would pop up. Oh, not enough turning. I did watch the quick start guide after powering it up, and first thing I did was go to YouTube and type up quick start guide LOSI PROMOTO MX, and LOSI's video popped up, and I watched it, and that link is in the description of yesterday's video. And I watched, having to either have it on the stand or laying on its side. I found laying on its side is definitely easier when you're out there, because bringing this stand around, it's hard to carry the stand around and power this thing on and off every time you want to use it. Sit down, I'm gonna watch a LOSI video and see what those beeps are. We'll be right back. All right, so it has to pretty much sit still, laying on its side when you power it up, or it goes in that funky fail-safe thing. One thing that I never saw anybody comment about, reading through all the harsh comments, because I get it. Everybody's watching edited videos out there with a bunch of professionals running this thing, and in no way, shape, or form am I any kind of professional. I'm just an RC hobbyist, like most people on YouTube, and that's what YouTube is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be an infomercial for RC. This is, my channel has always been, I'm going to show you the real and real situations. These are real situations that happen. No matter what mode I had this thing in, whether it was 1 beep, 2 beep, and I never even heard the beep, I just saw the flashes. That's why I kept looking down. Whether it was 1 flash, 2 flash, or 3 flashes, the thing would pop up and flip over. And I don't know what that is. It could have been the surface traction or something like that. I do know that the gyro corrected the heck out of this thing. Every time that I went to flip over, the thing, you can feel that I had no more trigger control after it got to a certain point. I didn't have any more trigger control. It would flip over and then right itself without me hitting brakes or doing anything. It just did it on its own. And that's the gyro definitely correcting this thing so that it's upright and it's not just laying there on its side. And I think that's pretty darn cool that something like this can do all that. I mean, running a motorcycle is definitely very hard. The first thing I experienced was, the steering being backwards, and I have a feeling I know where that came from, why that switch was backwards. It was either got bumped in the box or put away wrong. I feel the hobby store, when they put in the batteries in this thing, because this thing had batteries when I had it, they probably powered it up, noticed that it was wrong, and flipped it, because they do take these things out of the boxes and check for damage on every RC that they sell. And they probably noticed that, right wasn't right and left wasn't left. So on a motorcycle, just like the quick start guide said, right is not right and left is not left on the steering, because I've ridden motorcycles my whole life, and it's a counter steer thing. When you pull the handlebars right, the bike's going to want to drop down and you're going to go left. So that I get, which was corrected in the video right away. It's an easy little fix. The other thing I saw is one comment was you need to, start out at 0, which this is not an ABC button. And the quick start guide explains that to you. This doesn't control the wheelies. And I had this up to 50% because of the sweep and turns that I was doing. The turns didn't feel tight enough. So I kept upping this till it was about halfway on the dial. And then every turn, it was pretty much rolling on these side rollers. So that's some of the things I experienced in the quick start guide, and that's the whole reason it has the tag on it, is so that you can scan it and do your quick start guide. You don't have to open up a manual and read it from front to back in order to know how to do it. Normally I'll grab a quick start guide on anything, whether I'm assembling a table or working on a car. I've installed a lot of supercharger kits on cars, and I'll grab the quick start guide to set up the supercharger kit before I install it. Usually things are explained pretty simple. This is just real life things. And I get that there's a bunch of edited videos out there, and that's not what this is. This isn't an edited video. This is my first run of me taking this thing out of the box, putting in a battery pack, watching the quick start guide, when I realized that, hey, you can't just power this thing up like any other RC. And that's what happened. So I paused the video, watched the quick start guide, and then I was off and running. The only thing I couldn't do was get this thing to do an automatic wheelie like they were showing. And it could have been the surface, like I said, that basketball court, pretty slippery. It would just do a straight wheel burnout if I pulled the trigger kind of hard. So, but hopefully I am going to box this thing up and take it back to the hobby shop today. But I'm going to charge up this battery pack and hopefully get the owner to run it today. I just wanted to, give my thoughts on what I thought about this motorcycle. Running it for the first time. Like I said, this is a demo model. I don't have, 2 years and a professional driver to drive this thing. I'm learning everything in a short period of time in the few hours that I have this thing. So, and I feel most people are going to be that way. You're going to get something like this, get excited. Some people were saying that, taking a $600 RC and going out there and just sending it is not the way to do it. But these are toys in the end, To me, this thing's a toy, and I'm going to treat everything the same. Just like in my videos when I hand the controller over to people, I hand the controller over and say, don't worry about it. It is what it is. Go have fun with this. You can't watch a bunch of edited videos and figure your experience is going to be the same as those professionally, done videos. That's not this channel. This channel is just going to show you real world, life on how things are operating. But my thoughts of it, I think it's pretty cool. It stayed upright. It never fell over, like most motorcycles do when you're trying to operate them. I think the gyro is pretty cool. I think this is an innovative RC that's going to do very, very well. And the marketing on this thing is great because it's got the world hyped on this thing. And for good reason. They put a lot of time into this thing. It's not a quick drop, and it's not something that's, there's not a ton of these things out on the market. There's not a lot of motorcycles. I haven't seen any motorcycles in an RC store in probably 10 years. I haven't seen one in there. Not one that I want to buy. So there are a bunch of smaller Evel Knievel looking things that are people are showing out there on the internet. But this is nowhere near this. This thing, you can tell the quality is there. The detail, is there. I definitely think the front brake thing is pretty cool. I do like the chain and the realism of the way they've done everything with this RC. I just don't think, everybody's going to be out there sending it like all the professional videos right now. Just don't think that that's going to happen. Maybe there are more skilled people out there than me. I'm sure there are. but I noticed everything's got the QR code on it and something that you can scan. So a lot of detail went into this thing, and there's a lot of information out there on this thing. LOSI's done a whole string of videos on fixing this thing, everything, so that if you do have a problem, you can type it up on your smartphone, you can watch a quick little video on it and keep ripping. That's the nice thing about today's society and social media, is that everything's out there. You don't need to open up the book and read it from front to back. It's not something you need to do. It's all out there. And the way this thing's been dropped, the information definitely is out there. So I'm gonna get this battery pack pulled out. I'm gonna head over to the hobby shop, give it to them, and I wanna get the owner running this thing. I wanna get this thing on video and see if maybe he can get it to do a wheelie. But we'll see, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna get down to the hobby shop. I'm gonna get this pack charged up for them, and we're gonna get over there and see if we can get Christina to run it, and if we can get her husband to run it, because I'd love to get, you know, somebody else's opinion on this thing other than my own. That's why I was trying to get my daughter to run it yesterday. But there we go, stay tuned, something you wanna see. We'll be right back. All right, down here at High Desert Hobbies, bringing this motorcycle back, seeing if we can get them to run it today. Let's go in and talk to these.
Hello there.
Good morning.
It's a long day for 30 bucks. Excellent. So that's why always got his own little
His own little stand. Yeah, I'm hoping he'll run it right now, because I learned a lot.
I mean,
Can we
just
turn that down?
Oh yeah. Okay.
We got to leave the little connector hanging out because there's no room for it.
Oh, they give you a proprietary.
So it goes in
yeah.
here, and they say to put the battery cable end that way, but as you see, this is in the way, and there's no place in the box to tuck this thing.
Right.
It's not like wide enough to get it in there.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah,
So all I ended up doing was making sure it was flat,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do.
and then this is actually supposed to go on this side, but the cable's too short.
Well, not only that, but it, you know, you want to kind of keep it out of the way if possible.
Yes.
But as long as it takes most 2S, you know, 5000s, then they won't have
Well,
a problem. Because specialty batteries are problematic. It's already 500 bucks.
Yes.
So now you say, oh, we need a special battery. No, it's 600 bucks.
Yes.
That's not a good thing.
Well, and that's the thing, like, you know, you can put a notch in this so that this can hang out,
yeah, probably will.
you know,
Yeah.
would probably be the best. But I ran it like this.
I remember when I was a young man, I had a motorcycle. My mom actually made me a suit for my little. If you ever look at craft motorcycles,
Uh-huh.
I think they came out like in 1980, 79, 80, somewhere around there. And I got one because I went to the hobby store.
Uh-huh.
And she made me a couple of little bike suit things, and I put them somewhere, and I can't find them.
Bike suits?
For the guy. Cause
Oh, okay.
So she actually made like little like fabric things for the guy. And I thought, oh, what was that? So I had two different custom little. See, me and the actual guy, he was really good.
So, and
Size
then
is right, that's for sure.
I love the size. I think, you know, motorcycles, they were hard to keep up. This one, no matter what, it's hard to knock down. So
Oh, wow.
it's hard to get it to knock down. I couldn't get it, no matter, because there's 3 modes on this that's operated through this. And no matter which flash I got, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, it kept backflipping.
Oh, gotcha.
and I could, because 3 is supposed to be the wheelie mode.
Right.
And so I kept trying it, and it just, every time it came up, you could feel the gyro trying to bring it down, and then all of a sudden it would just, and then you have no throttle control of it.
Oh.
All of a sudden the gyro takes over, and it'll flip up on its head, and then the gyro like locks up the brake and it throws it back on its wheels, and then you have control again.
Okay, positioning of the gyro probably releases and yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely amazing, but when you start it, it has to be off. The flywheel has to be off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Then when you shut it down, once you, like now we'll power it up. So first thing you do is you turn the controller on. Of course, hit the start button over there. Yep. Then this will bind. You cannot touch it. It either has to be on its side or on the stand.
Okay.
If you're trying to hold it,
position,
yeah,
right.
if you hold it, it's going to go in fail safe and you get all this funky beeping with this thing.
Right.
And the battery thing will just sit there and keep scrolling.
Okay. Yeah, it's either going to need, because when you do a receiver, it's either horizontal or vertical.
Yes.
There's no in between.
So you're not going to carry the stand with you, so the easiest thing is just to lay it on its side.
Right.
Once that's done, then you go ahead and turn the flywheel on. Now you're going to wait for that thing to get to full speed. And you'll hear it. You can hear it's winding up, winding up, winding up. And then when shutting it down, it's not just shutting it down. You can't just turn the car off and turn the remote off, or the gyro sit there and spin for like, it spun for almost 7 minutes before I could even touch the RC car. And in the quick start guide, it tells you this. It tells you when turning it off, turn off the flywheel, and it applies a drag brake. And it'll drag brake it and stop
Okay,
it
'cause,
faster.
Yeah, it's got a free wheel.
Yes.
It could spin
Because it's a
for-
big weight.
Yeah, and it could
So-
spin in theory for a long.
It spun for 7 minutes. So,
Yeah, it's a lot of weight.
but when I went to power this thing up, I tried to scan the QR code, and of course it didn't work. So I went and found the video because I kept having these errors beeping
Right.
with the thing. And so I was like, I better watch the quick start guide. So I watched it, and he explained all that in it, which then I was able to power it up and run it. So very easy once you watch the quick start guide.
Nice.
And then when I first went to operate it, and it says this in the quick start guide, see how right is left? Just like a normal motorcycle. When you go left, the bike drops down and turns right. Somebody had this over on reverse, so when I went to take off, it was backwards.
Oh.
I was like, that was an easy fix. I flipped it over, you know?
Right. Right.
So, and then the thumb switch, now it's all ready to go. Then the thumb switch, when you hit it, and that's what was happening to me yesterday. So that's 2, and that's 3.
Right.
And that should be wheelie mode.
Right.
And I couldn't get it to wheelie.
Stable
So,
anyway.
and it's up and not down.
Okay,
You know, like
go
the
up.
hand, yeah,
Okay.
like the handbrake is down. But this one is up.
Gotcha. And mode 1 is a lot more stability,
Mode,
right?
mode 1 is for dirt. Mode 2 is supposed to be for,
Because mode 1 will give you more stability, more gyro interaction, all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. Okay. Which is
and
great.
then I think that's the mistake I was doing, because even down will go to 1, and then up goes to 2, and then 3, and then if you want to go back to 1, you go down. Because if you go up, it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
You see?
So it's 1, 2, 3, and then okay, gotcha. Okay, just kind of
2,
Okay.
and that's
did a
already
good
on
job,
1.
'cause-
So when I was running it, and it's sunny outside, I couldn't see this, and I couldn't hear the beeps while I'm trying to watch the
Oh,
thing.
it's hard. Like okay, what?
So I don't know what mode I'm in. All I know is I kept pressing down, pressing down, pressing down. But it's literally, you got to toggle up and toggle down. So if you don't remember where you're at, or you can't hear it, you don't know what mode you're in. And it's hard to look at the remote when you're
And
running.
if you're doing, because the second off here, as it starts to
Yeah, you
it's
run
like,
into
oh,
a curb
crap,
or
yes,
something.
yeah, yeah,
I was
exactly.
even trying to like find the steering sub trim, because I'm used to it being next to the AVC button.
Right.
So I'm sitting there playing with brake, and I'm going, I know there's a sub trim, and it kept drifting right. And I was like, where's the trim? And I couldn't, you know, I got sweat pouring in my eye, and I'm like, man,
not
where's
going as well as I
where's
thought."
the sub trim? There's so many buttons. Like the remote is
That is a
so,
very complicated radio.
it's so different than any other remote. I
I
think
mean, hence
it's,
the price tag. If you get
Yes.
like a whole software protocols for this, just for that.
but once you power it up and get it in this mode and everything is right, let's see, what mode is it? Two, that's 2, so we were in 1. So that's in 1. That's dirt. 2's supposed to be for street.
Right.
So we'll leave it in street. But once you do that and you take off, the thing's amazing.
Gotcha.
It's like, you know.
And then, and I even looked at the upgrades. I mean, aluminum swing arms, real actual machine
Yes,
disc
even the
brake.
machine hubs, and they got all kinds of aluminum upper bar mounts, upper and lower. I mean, this thing's going to be, I think they're going to be able to deck this thing out a lot.
Oh, anybody. Because this will be kind of their, if it goes well, they're probably, like other people have like their one car or their one. This will be that one. You know, I'll sacrifice a few because I really need to get that swing arm, which is $122 or whatever the thing is.
Yes.
You know,
And I don't even know if that'll break.
Well, probably not, but it's just a cool factor, like having these done.
Yes. Like
was a smart
and I
idea.
think that's what's going to happen. They're going to upgrade these things to death because they look so cool.
Yeah, it's not even performance.
Even like the brake cable up here, because this is a real working brake.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
They didn't. So they use a
There's
front
a front brake. Yeah, there's a front brake trim.
I
See?
haven't even looked at the thing that much.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like me. Yesterday when I ran it, I avoided videos because I wanted my true first opinion of the thing. Open
Right,
it
without
up, see
having to
it
be biased.
without being biased from all the other videos.
Right.
So, you know, the only thing, you know, I would do is watch the quick start guide and then, of course, learn it, you know. I mean,
it's just, you know, you're driving a motorcycle. It's gonna, like an airplane.
yes. That's what this reminds me of, a drone or an airplane versus just getting an RC car, throwing a battery in it and go out and ripping it, because you can stop.
Yeah.
Here, every time you stop, you fall over.
Yeah.
So it's
And you're balancing.
Yes.
You can't, like my bikes, we used to run, I had a gas bike too. You had to slow down and turn. You couldn't just
yes,
turn.
and same with this.
I mean,
Yes.
just no matter what. Yeah.
And the stopping and turning radius is, you need a lot of room to stop with this thing.
Okay.
Even on 2S. Because when you hit the brake, like the motor brake, it just wants, it slides and it slides straight. But
Okay.
it's sliding, you know, it's not stopping.
Hence the knobby tires.
Hence, I think the front brake. And I never got to
Too
play.
much of that, you know, who knows? If
Maybe
it's
you
gonna
can
go.
endo and put it on a wheelie. You never know.
If you could,
Yes.
that would be so
I
fun.
think it's going to be
And
fun.
Because that's what everyone wants to do. If you
Yes.
can master that, that would be a hoot.
I mean, even when I ride my street bike, it's the same thing. You're always wheeling or endoing, you know?
Yeah,
It's just, you want to do stupid things on a bike.
That's why I never got a big bike. I just knew.
And that's why when I had kids, I got rid of my street bike.
I mean, I used to ride my friends and stuff, and this is just bad use.
Because you're always splitting traffic. You're always going fast.
Oh, you can't help it. And it's just, I
Yes.
just want to be there, and you're there. I mean,
Yes.
the car's like, oh, the car's quick. No, get on a bike. If you
Yep.
want to be somewhere in an art piece,
Yep.
that's how you do it. Yeah.
Do you want to go rip it real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Let me
go.
get my glasses really quick. Let me get my glasses.
I'd love to
I
see.
can't see
I turned to my daughter. I was like, hey, you want to run it? And she goes, no.
Heard it.
I was like, you can't do any worse than I did.
So the right is right, left is left.
Yes. Well, it's backwards on there, but when you ride, it'll be
It
normal.
throws the fork, like mine used
Yes.
to swing the forks out. That's how
Because
you get
it's a
it
counter steer. When you counter steer, the bike drops into a lean. And it's the same thing with this. And the steering input, and I find that every time I was turning, now this button, this MSX button or MS6 button, this isn't AVC. This is just how much you lean. How fast the bike will lean side to
I
side.
gotcha.
Has nothing to do with wheelie control or any of that stuff. It's not like AVC.
How fast? Okay.
So I started off with 0, which gave me very little. And then by the time I was towards the end of the run, I was 50%, about
Yeah, the more
halfway.
proficient, you're like, I can get out the brakes, hit and turn.
Because then I can turn faster. And that's why I thought 50%.
That's a lot of work for this.
There's a
for
lot.
all-
Yes.
That is.
But the first, quick start video told you all this. And it told you that when you turn this right and turn it left, you're going to see it backwards.
So, because my old bikes used to would swing it would just swing the forks.
Yes.
Because it swings the fork this way, and your bike would go that way. I mean,
Yes.
it was inherently pitched up. And it was
Yes.
fun.
Yep.
I imagine they'll make upper. That's where they need improvements. Maybe it would be a machine aluminum.
I think
pit rounds and
somebody's
stuff.
going to make these a little shorter and tuck them in.
Yeah.
And I did notice that his feet pop out of this thing all the time because they're just into these pegs, and you don't want his feet dangling everywhere.
That's freaking, I just did such an amazing job. That's
But
cool.
you're going to be surprised. You're going to get out there and look like a pro. I'm telling you, it's not going to fall.
That's amazing. Because mine used to fall.
Yep.
All right, kids. And you can feel the gyro every time you touch it.
Yes, it's really wanting to twist the thing.
Yeah. So then,
and just hold that in whatever hand
he'll
you're...
pitch up like my bike. I can stay off to the side.
Yeah, I never tried doing that. I just held it with one hand.
Oh, there we go. Shoot, I keep. All right.
See how it just doesn't want to fall over? See how the turning's limited? But you can't mess up.
That's way fun.
You gotta leave yourself plenty of turning and plenty of stopping.
Oh, that's great.
Right? He will not fall down.
Yeah, see, I tend to get out the front a little bit too much. You push it a little bit.
No, but I do the same. When turning, I'm off the throttle most of the time.
Yeah.
Even on 2S,
You hit the brakes.
yeah, it locks up. And see how you want to turn more?
Yeah. That's just freaking fun. I gotta get my bride to try this.
Oh, anybody can run this thing.
See like that. Once you get it's stable, once you get out of the corner,
Yes.
once you corner, and I'm already feeling like
Yeah, you should be on the throttle when you're exiting.
yeah. So I'll go softer there.
Yep,
And usually my bike would have dumped right about there.
exactly. And we'd be running over there to pick it up.
Although the guy I used to run with the guy who ended up driving with associate, we both worked at the hobby store.
Yep.
He was a master at these things.
I'm hoping we can master the wheelie today, because yeah, you see how the gyro took over there?
It's good too. I mean, it's no slouch.
No, it definitely loves coming up. When you nail that trigger, it wants to backflip.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can just go.
Yep.
You gotta try this.
Yes. And then he just falls over.
That's just shockingly fun.
It really is. It makes everybody a better rider.
And it's
And it's not overpowering better rider.
no. And once you get down, you can limit drive
Yes.
more. Cutie girl.
Yeah, I saw it.
Want to drive?
No.
Dude, I've never done it before.
You gotta try it.
You cannot hurt it. It's already scratched. Just right.
I already destroyed it.
Come on. Come on. It's
Yes,
freaking fun.
I'm telling you.
It's freaking fun.
You think it's gonna be hard to control, but all of a sudden it turns into a normal RC.
Yeah. Go grab the brake. Grab this. Right, left brake. All you have to do is gas
It's
it.
like a normal RC now.
Just drive like a, yeah. Get a little bit of gas. Once you feel it, it's instant.
The gyro will keep it up.
You don't have to be good. Punch it, you'll get out of there. Yeah. I mean,
This is what I was talking about, is that there's no professionals here. And this is how you're pretty much gonna be running. It's gonna take a while for everybody to learn and get used to.
that's easy. I mean, that's easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, me too.
Because my old gas bikes were a handful.
It really wants you to push the limits.
You can tell. Yes. You can tell.
You could tell that you want to keep going more and more.
I want to be able to.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I can jump down the control.
Yes.
And if anyone can grab one and just drive,
Yes.
you should be able to take off maybe from there.
See, I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
Some say you can, but I'm sure it'll be kind of difficult.
No, I'm good.
He's like, I didn't crash.
You're not going to hurt it.
Wasn't it easier than you thought it would be?
It's made to jump.
Yes. Even in the air, it keeps it straight.
That's a lot of engineering software.
Yes.
That's the bulk of what this thing is
And
that.
and that's why I think it's more like a drone, but I think it's user friendly for everybody because it says 14 years old and up.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's pretty young for something so advanced.
Any one person could try this in a half hour. They're an expert.
Oh yes, I think so.
mean, yeah.
Just from yesterday, 5 minutes I was on this thing, and I know a lot already.
Cutie girl.
Try it, honey.
He
The
did.
other gentleman.
Oh.
Try it. Sorry.
Oh, he walked away.
You want to try it, sir? Want to drive? Drive like an RC car. That's way
For a
I
motorcycle.
heard you say I'd be an expert. It's easier.
Well, you won't fall over.
Let's give it a little bit of gas. You got to, it's just run. You just got to, accelerate a little bit. If you exit, when you come out of the corner, give it a little bit of throttle.
Yep.
Boom. Once you've got like 2 turns,
Let me, can I videotape you demoing?
that thing is cool.
You got to leave room for braking and room for turning.
What it will do, that's just a
it's
That's just fun.
it is.
That's what we're challenged to kind of keep you engaged with it as far as
I wish it had more turning. Like I said, I wish those things were a little higher.
Yeah, but once you know it, because you're not gonna be able to break
Yes.
into the corner and come out and accelerate.
And
up.
people have been removing those pegs now.
Oh yeah. that's
You
what we
can, but when you stop, it's gonna fall over.
Yeah. When we did our guy when we raced them, you just did.
Yep.
It's kind of weird, but it's pretty forgiving at low.
Yes.
Look how good you can turn a low speed, not jump
Yes,
the bike.
exactly.
And normally they're
It
over
acts the same way.
Yes, 100%.
It acts the same way in dirt.
Yes. Right now it's on street mode. There is a dirt mode.
Fuse right over there. I see dirt in our future.
Is that how you stop? Just that thing.
Yep, that's it.
What is it called? What?
Promo
Thing's
X.
pretty
PROMOTO
Promoto X.
MX.
MX.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you operate the steering when it's standing still, it's backwards from an RC car. Because a bike, when you turn left, you go right. Same concept with
Not
this.
gonna hurt the thing. I mean, it's made to crash.
Well,
It's just, it's the wheelies.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just tried.
I want to try that wheelie mode and see if that thing
Try
will
that.
actually work. Let me see if
headed to the dirt.
that's 2. So 3 should be wheelie mode. Now it's hard to see that.
this thing 4S?
It's
quick.
2S.
We're not even on it.
It's got a lot of power for
Oh,
2S.
Yeah, everybody's getting. I think I got. They won't give me. Everybody's talking. Oh, look at that! Yeah, it has a motor one, a stabilizer thing, so you don't have to do an extra. Quick! I like the fact that it doesn't jump on low speed.
Yes.
Bikes were a problem.
See, once you realize that you're in that mode, it.
It's not like a $1,200 waste of time. That's pretty cool. If you could do that, come out of that. Yeah, there you go. That's cool.
Yep.
Now you're not walking over like, hey, look at the bike. That's not fun.
See, but with that, like me, I don't want to take my eyes off of it to look at what mode I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really can't hear the beep.
Yeah, one of you guys, that guy had one pretty long.
Oh, she wants to do a video of the wheelie.
You missed it? Oh. I'm stuck. His foot's probably off, is what I would imagine. Yeah, see, his foot came off the peg. Definitely need room for this thing. You can't mess up the wheelie once you're in the right mode.
It just sticks.
It just, full trigger, anything, it just holds it there. It's pretty cool. Yes. You want to try it with the wheelie? I was struggling because I couldn't see it yesterday. You got to toggle up and down, and I was just toggling down, so it was stuck in one mode.
It's going pretty good, too.
Right? It gets up and then holds it. That's what I was trying to learn yesterday. But it takes a long time to stop.
I knew it happened.
Yep. We can see all our brake marks right here. And that's the thing with this, guys. It's just going to take time learning it, learning the controls, learning what it does. That's all it is. So definitely yesterday, you know, I was trying to learn. And that's all it is. But nobody's going to go out there and be an expert and not crash. Look, he's already into the curb again. It's just because the turning radius. Yes.
Not a big good turning radius.
No, that's what I was saying on the video yesterday, and that's why I kept playing with that MX switch, because that makes it drop down faster.
You know, I just watched that video this morning.
Did you? Oh, I got hammered on that video because I'm not an expert.
By who?
Well, everybody in the comments, they're like, oh, you scratched it and you damaged it. I was like, I wasn't trying to. That's why I didn't take it to dirt. I was just trying to learn it yesterday. But then when it kept flipping over, I was like, oh, I better figure out what's going on. Then the battery's dead. Because it is only a 2S.
What's the, what size 2S?
This one's a 35C. They recommend a 50C. And I suggest buying the battery with it, because even like this one, the balance port's hanging out. And when you crash, it could rip that plug off.
I have to learn all over again.
Yes. But, you know, it stays up more than most of them do.
I think I've driven like one other RC
Motorcycle?
It wasn't very good at all.
That's like me. I tried it for like 5 minutes and gave up. Definitely a cool RC. And then the shutdown isn't normal. You can't just turn it off. You got to stop that gyro first. Oh,
Gotcha.
look at the AVC.
That thing is really cool. And it's got its own stand too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you picked it up. Have you picked it up with the gyro? Try wiggling the thing.
Whoa.
Right? See how the gyro is like kicking it and trying to keep it straight?
Feel that.
So here, we get your picture.
It's insane. It doesn't want to be on its side now, because
No.
that second motor is just spinning that big weight in there.
Wow, that is crazy. I mean, that is crazy. Oh yeah.
It literally will try to rip it out of your hand.
Man, that's
Right?
after that.
So they say the shutdown before turning anything off, just turn this off, and you'll hear the brake applied to the gyro.
Oh, is that
And then
that
when
noise?
that's that noise, when that stops, then you can turn everything off. But that's a drag brake slowing that big weight down right now.
Oh, because it's just constantly
Yes,
spinning.
it's constantly spinning. If you just power it off, it took me 7 minutes to get it to stop yesterday.
Wow.
Yes.
7 minutes?
Yes, 7 minutes. Right now it's beeping, telling me it's on like a shutdown mode. It's telling you not to operate it because the gyro's not spinning. And it won't let you run when the gyro's off.
That's so cool too.
The real chain?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think they already sell this in aluminum. There's a gold one, an upgraded one with different teeth.
I'm shocked.
I think a 5-year-old could run it. You know, as long as you know the startup procedure and the shutdown procedure.
Yeah. I mean, Peter can do it.
I mean, if I can do it, you know, I'm no expert in any way. But I dig the thing. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Of course.
And you know, it's in yesterday's video, I'm like, hey, everybody come down here. Maybe they'll let you run it.
Oh, cool.
That is really cool though.
Right? I think it is.
I used to, when I was a kid, I raced.
I think most of us did out here.
I loved it too.
I love the
So
dirt
much fun.
bikes. I mean, I was always in the dirt.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I got into street bikes. And of course, I wrecked like everybody else. I laid it down, road rash and all. But, you know, I continued to ride.
But there's nothing like dirt. I mean,
Nothing like dirt.
Dirt is so much
Yes. And I didn't want to take this into the dirt because, you know, it's their demo model. I didn't want to pack it with dirt and then not be able to wash, hose it off. You know, so I figured, let me learn it on asphalt real quick, and then I still ripped the jacket. I scratched up the back and ripped his jacket and his elbow from flipping over.
Not too bad.
Yeah, the nice thing is the clothes are 20 bucks, and all the plastics with the stickers is 39 bucks. So not too bad for LOSI pricing, I think. You know, and it has a real front brake on a cable.
I was feeling because
You could feel it.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like for me, I would adjust it up more, because even trying to stop here, we're sliding all the way to the back. And I think applying more of this front brake that's on here, I think just keep cranking this thing up until the brake feels good to you. You definitely don't want it to lock up, but
Let me know when you're ready, and I'll just give her a little bit. Give her the throttle. Yeah, every turn is it will be for sure.
you need a lot of room for stopping and a lot of room for turning.
I guess good, guys.
Oh,
Spin back down.
oh,
There you
okay. Oh, that is
go. That's the hang of it. That's a lot of help. You're on slow speed.
like learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Yep. Well, and that's the thing, even the steering opposite, even though it feels like it's correct. No, his foot's jammed now. Yeah.
I got you.
That's what I'm saying. No professionals here, as you see. They still can ride it, but they do, you know, they do get stuck. So, not everybody's gonna open this thing up out of the box and be an expert rider like all the videos we've watched for the last, you know, couple of weeks on this thing.
Yeah, when you come out of the course, so we were the first thing over there. Really cool. Give it a little gas. There you go. You can kind of see it crash itself like that. That's pretty cool.
It really is.
But I mean, it's just kind of good.
It makes every rider look good.
It doesn't. It's pretty intuitive.
Yes, but it takes some skill still.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, it takes some use to get
But even
Yep.
at slow speed, how stable it was, and even going like a mile an hour.
Yes.
I had enough. That's enough for me. That's enough for me.
And I think that's where a lot of people are going to be.
Yeah.
They're like, I'd rather.
Texas getting one.
Yep, I'll just get my own.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
We should probably put it in wheelie mode for you.
Oh yeah. Let me see it. See it do it?
It's gonna be him. I don't know.
Oh, we just got to put that thing on channel 3 or on the 3rd light. You can do a wheelie easy. You got more skill than I have. Look at that. See how the wheels rode that?
Yeah.
I did that yesterday on a curb.
That is crazy. I have a friend who's gonna look 'cause
Oh.
he does.
And I'm surprised at the runtime for the 2S. I mean,
Yeah.
with 2 motors and all this stuff. It definitely. Yes.
On the battery.
Yeah, and I think we have the thing at half right now.
Oh, Gyro won't drive this. Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. It gets up every time, as long as his foot doesn't come off that peg. Once it comes off the peg, it's hard to get it up.
Let me get a quick video. I gotta get video of this. This is
Yes.
crazy.
I'm here in December on the next shipment.
I can see it. You're doing parts in. Oh, that was a wheelie. I didn't even do that.
Yeah, because I don't even know what mode we left it in. I don't know if it's in dirt or on road or...
That's all good.
Yes. And this is where I think most people are going to play with it, on the asphalt like this.
Oh, probably.
In front of their house. That's where most of the RCs do get run.
Oh yeah, you guys. I just want to have it.
We're in a big city. You guys got dirt everywhere.
Yeah, when I
No, I had enough. I can't wait to get mine. I do love the thing though. In a long time. Well, I don't think none of us have been this excited for an RC drop.
You know, I mean, rock crawling when it came out was new and fun. I really did enjoy it. I still do.
Yeah.
It's just nice, you know.
See, I like building rock crawlers.
Yeah.
I feel that's where the fun is for me.
And the scale thing is really cool.
Yes.
It's pretty quick. And you come out with some authority on this.
Yep.
On the corner.
Have you tried turning up the front brake, see if it stops better?
No, because I'm afraid to get my finger off the
Right? Aren't you afraid to look down?
Yes. Because if I look down the radar, I'm gonna crash.
Exactly. And I think the beep should be a little bit louder for the thumb thing.
If I go more front brakey.
Yeah, it should be the far front one.
No, front brake rate?
Yeah, front brake rate.
That's all.
That's everything, huh?
Dude, you want to drive? Do it. Don't be a coward.
Let me get some water together. I'll try it. I'm definitely going to look at that thing.
You're totally high maintenance, right? Guzzle some water and get out here.
Yeah, his feet already came off.
Bring the man some water. I'll bring it. You've been expert now. Your water is already going in.
Now he's like, I got to go out there. Oh, yeah.
Person stopped in the middle to watch you. I said they stopped in the middle to watch you. Oh,
I'm on that water.
I could see. It cut out? Yeah, that's probably about 30 minutes of runtime now, because I think it's been about 7 people that have tried it.
I saw the video and I was like, they can't still be there.
So I was telling everybody, come down. The battery went to cut out. Oh, I have soda, thank you.
And an effort to, I mean, normally here, but it's kind of tight because of the car. You're not okay kind of driving in the corner there?
Yeah.
The cul-de-sac.
You want to drive it really quick?
Go ahead, I'll finish recording.
Oh, that is smooth.
It's hard when you never ran RC, because with the motorcycle you do have to keep some power on. You can't just stop. Disclaimer, it does say 14 or older. Oh! And they're learning with a motorcycle. And I think that's where this thing will shine. Oh, oh, and a backflip. No. Might want to turn it down to 50%. You might want to put this in the training mode 1.
Yeah, good point.
There you go.
Let's go to 50%.
Ready?
Hitting a curve, it bounces right off.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Slow.
God, 50% still kind of fast.
Yes, there you go. And go this way towards us a little bit to the other car. There you go. 4. Good old Dad.
Came off.
I got the slow-mo of it bouncing off the curb.
I think I missed it. Oh, your frame was much better.
Yeah.
I didn't walk around.
50%.
You come out of the corner, there you go. Perfect, you're an expert. That's lower. You go to the gas. Once you get down, getting those pegs out of the way.
Yes. I think if they were up just a little
It
higher.
would help. And they're not ugly.
They're not ugly. You don't really notice it.
You can have more fun with them on.
Yep. I think so.
It's not a real one.
Yes. We're not on it.
No, this dude's got this. There you go. Ooh, you like one of those sprint bikes. What are those things called, the sprint bikes? Or the,
Oh, yes. The roundy
those
rounds.
guys are good. I
Yes.
used to love watching those.
Sprint
Like,
cars.
You're almost, you're so far sideways, your back tires are
Yep.
almost in front of you. Nice save. I like it.
Yep. It's one thing you have to get used to is throttling through the turns.
Slowly.
Oh gosh, okay.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, slow, slow, slow. Give it some gas, and you got it. By the hair, of your chin, chin, chin.
Yep.
There you go. A little bit slower. Oh, look at that. It does really good on a slow speed.
It does.
I mean, considering you can survive that even.
I think so. And the 50% power is still kind of quick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it.
I dropped it all the way to 50.
One more.
Ready? You got it. There you go. Little size. You coming out of the corner, give it a little gas. That's pretty good. Two guys have never really done RC cars.
Yes, to learn this, yep.
that fast, that's pretty good.
It would have been 2 weeks for me on any other bike.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, this-
Right? Oh, you gotta let off.
First chop. Oh, I was gonna, well, you might catch the corner.
He might have. No. It's really mellow.
They never did with a truck.
They've never driven a four-wheel drive.
Are you gonna take this in the dirt?
I never even started it with a push.
You were good, Jack. You recording?
Oh yeah, I'm recording.
You got, if those feet don't get in the way, that's another thing what happened to
Oh.
eggs.
Out for the jog.
The little outriggers.
Yes. That's what I was explaining to people yesterday when I first ran it. Like, he just ran it. He ran it into a curb. And he's an experienced YouTuber, RC guy. I remember seeing one of his videos like 3 years ago. Here, I think it was here. He had broke out his little camera, his phone.
All you do is you spaz like, I'm sorry, I spaz hit a curve.
Yes, but that's what they tested. From my understanding, this is the 3rd or 4th revision on those forks so that they don't snap right away. 'Cause that kid hit it hard.
He hit it so hard that
And you
Gyro
see
kept
it,
it straight.
it kept it straight when it landed.
I thought he was really good.
Yes,
Probably took it up.
he could have.
There you go.
And then the other guy, he was going through the turns, nailing the trigger, and the gyro was like, and the RC was all, and I was like, man, you're hitting those turns hard like that.
You guys, if this kid never drove an RC car,
That's impressive.
First time.
Yep, that's impressive.
That's.
It says for 14 and older, and the other kid looked like he was about 12, 13.
Yeah, he got it right away.
Yeah.
The little guy did it afterwards.
The little guy did.
Yeah. All right, heat up another battery for David. We'll have to put him in the dirt.